Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Tonight from Legion Field, it's another battle of top 10 teams as the Northridge Grizzlies take on the Fort Morgan Mustangs along with Brian Nickel. I'm John Beltran. The Grizzlies go into the game with a 6-2 record, ranked 10th in 3A, and the Mustangs, ranked 3rd in 3A, are 6-1. And Brian, an incredible atmosphere last Friday night. I don't think we'll have the same atmosphere tonight, but Fort Morgan still has a very, very credible opponent in Northridge.
Oh yeah, they've really gotten a lot better over the last couple of years. That's showing. You'll see it here tonight. It shows in their record at 6-2. So they run and pass about the same, but it looks like this year they've had a little bit of tough time hanging on to the ball. I think they have 8 fumbles and 4 interceptions, but maybe that's where the Mustangs will be able to get some points off of turnovers tonight. So, but they've come along, but Fort Morgan's got to come out tonight after that loss last week and play ball. This is no slouch, and next week is no slouch either. So,
and Brian, now that you mentioned that, I think it's been a while since Fort Morgan has forced a fumble. The interceptions, they came up with one last week. They had one against Niwot. I got to be honest with you, I don't remember the last time that Fort Morgan was able to get a fumble. They had the interception in the end zone or on the 1-yard line against Mountain View. I got to go back to that Brush game, which were 2 fumbles. They had to have had one since then. But I think it's been minimal for Fort Morgan in terms of forcing turnovers via the fumble. So it's been a while.
Yeah, well, hopefully they can do that tonight. They seem to be prone to it a little bit. So they had 3 against Roosevelt, plus they thrown interceptions. 4 turnovers against Roosevelt a couple weeks ago. So we'll see if the Mustangs can kind of duplicate that, get some turnovers, and give that the opportunistic offense some more shots at the ball.
The head coach is Jeremy Hayden for the Grizzlies, assisted by Jordan Reich, Dustin Duff, Jim Handy, Ryan Burkholder, and Walker Brown for the Mustangs. Ty Davies assisted by Jacob Blunn, Tanner Campbell, Drew Davies, Gary Davies, Jim Kreckemeyer, Ron Eccles, Josh Langford, Isaac Linker, Tyrone Ortiz, Eric Sherman, and Seth Wolf. For the Mustangs will kick off wearing their home maroons with the white numerals and gray pants. Sharp-looking uniforms, Brian.
Yeah, they look nice. I really like them.
And Northridge in their white uniforms. And back deep to receive for Northridge will be Kobe Schmidt. And that might be, let's see who the near side player is. Brandon Marquez will kick it off for the Mustangs.
You got Brian Cantu back here also.
Yep. That is Cantu for Northridge. And that kickoff in the direction of Cantu at the 18 to make it the 13. Running to his right to the 20, looking for a seat to the outside. Has got the sideline to the 40. He's got 2 to beat, crossing the 50 in Fort Morgan territory. No flags are down, and that's a return of 37 yards and a very bad start for the Mustangs on special teams.
Yeah, not the way they wanted to start out, so the defense is going to have to buckle down here to start right off the game.
45-yard line where the Grizzlies will begin.
Well, Brian, your oldest son, right before the game, he said it. You got to watch out for that letdown.
Yep.
Right, that emotional game. 1st and 10 under center. At the 45-yard line, the quarterback is Cooper Rose. Handoff right up the gut. That is Brendan Peterson. He dives to the 43 for a gain of 2. Right up to the line of scrimmage. Daniel Serna makes the tackle.
Number 26, Isaac Ness.
Well, I'm going to say that's Ness. Excuse me. That is Ness.
Fort Morgan jumped.
Yeah, they did. I thought I saw just a 2, but yeah, that would make sense. It's Ness. He's their leading ball carrier and leading yard rusher this year. All of a sudden, we'll give him about 3, and that's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down and 2 for the 37. Under center, play action. Rose looking to throw. Here comes the pressure. He's sacked back at the 46-yard line. Levi McCoy shot right through the middle, and it's a loss of 8 yards, and that is tremendous pressure applied by the Mustang senior, Levi McCoy. It'll be 3rd down and 10, just like that. It was looking like Northridge was not far off in the red zone, and now they're near midfield.
Yep, back to the original line of scrimmage.
1 setback. It's 3rd down and 10 for the Mustang, 45 under center. There's the handoff left side to Ness, cuts it back towards the middle. He has held up big time. A gain of 2, and the tackle was made by Jesse Kempa, the senior. A gain of 1 for Isaac Ness. Interesting decision here. You have 4th down and 9. You're in Mustang territory at the 44. But, you know, the one thing that we saw last week, Brian, between Fort Morgan and Roosevelt was the field position game pretty early.
Yeah, it started right off, and it looks like Northridge is going to do the same thing, going to try and pin Fort Morgan deep in their own territory.
Damon West is the second leading rusher on the team. He's also the punter. Now Fort Morgan lost to Roosevelt 14-7. Northridge lost to them 62-19. And he is 16 yards behind the center. A snap that takes a while to get there. Left-footed punt, end over end, along the sideline, well out of bounds with Ortega on the near sideline on the Fort Morgan side. And the ball should be marked at around the 20 some odd. It's going to be walked up.
Right about the 20.
Yep.
Punt goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Well, Brian, what do you think? Time for some offensive fireworks out of the Mustangs after only 7 points last week.
Yep, they got plenty of power on that offense, that's for sure. We'll see if they can get it going without their backs being against the wall.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. The quarterback, of course, is none other than Briggs Whately out of the pistol formation, with Frank Ortega behind Wheatley, awaiting the snap. Wheatley will hand it off to Ortega, running to his left, a seam to the 25, back towards the middle to the 30. Ortega's loose at the 35, and he's grabbed around neck level and taken down at the 39, a gain of 19. And that's an easy first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, that looks nice.
In on the tackle, number 55, Parker Steckel.
Parker Steckel made the hit. There's a give to Ortega. Not a big hole there. Crosses the 40 to the 42 for a gain of about 3.
About 3 yards.
Second down and a long 7 to go, just shy of the 42-yard line. Northridge went 3 and out. They were aided by a Fort Morgan penalty, but then the Levi McCoy sack drew them back to the 45-yard line. The Mustangs at their own 42 on 2nd down and 8. Whately with Ortega to his right, 5 yards behind center, awaits a snap. He's got it, and he's going to roll out to his right. He's got big running room to the 45, down to the 50, and he's dragged down at about the 47-yard line. The Northridge coaches wanted to hold there, Brian. There was some isolation out there, but it's a gain of 11 and a first down for Briggs Wheatley. He had a big night last week, despite the fact that Fort Morgan really couldn't run the ball unless it was Briggs.
Yeah, they were keying on. Well, I guess what they were kind of doing was getting Frankie out of the backfield to open it up for Briggs, so that's why he was limited last week.
First down and 10 for the Mustangs at the 47-yard line of Northridge. Their second first down already here on the opening drive. Pistol formation. Man in motion to the right is Fajardo. He was banged up last week. Handoff, Ortega running off right tackle, and he backs to the 46-yard line as he was taken down for a gain of 2 and driven back by Parker Steckel. He's a solid junior linebacker. He's in on 2 tackles already. Ortega's got 3 carries for 24 yards. 2nd down and 8.
Seem to have more luck right now running outside, not too much up the middle. They got some pretty good-sized boys there on the Northridge side.
Well, and they're playing a 3-4, Brian. They rely a lot on their linebackers. Empty backfield, 2nd down and 8 for the 46-yard line. Wheatley with a 3-step drop, throws out to his left complete. First down to Marquez, and he's across the 30 towards the 29. Fernando Marquez, what else is new? And Brian, he ran a gorgeous pattern, a gain of 17 yards for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it was more kind of a down and out there, and he was wide open, and then he put his shoulder into that defender and let him know what he was up to anyway.
Remember when you couldn't see yard markers on this field? It looks great.
Yeah, it looks nice. They
Phenomenal.
never had them before until this year, so it's nice.
Well, maybe that's why. I thought maybe they were in place last year, but you're right. This is a professional setting here in Fort Morgan. Opening drive, Northridge did not score. The Mustangs have it at the 29 of Northridge, 1st and 10. And Ortega to the right of the running back, of the quarterback. Wheatley, play action, looks to throw, sets up over the middle, caught by Marquez. A first down, trying to break a tackle inside the 15 to the 13, maybe the 12. A 17-yard pass on the previous play. This will go for 16 yards.
Pass is completed to number 1, Fernando Marquez.
And a first down for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, he had a couple of guys deep, but they looked like they were covered, and Fernando came underneath and was open.
Second reception for 33 yards for Fernando Marquez. 2 receivers split out to the left and right, and Fort Morgan looking like the machine they've been all season in the red zone. Ortega to the right of the quarterback. Wheatley will keep it himself off the fake. A hole up the middle to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Briggs Wheatley. That was too easy for the senior Mustang quarterback. 13 yards away. Briggs Wheatley does it again. And the Mustangs lead 6-0.
Yeah, that was wide open. Like, well, it was a draw play basically, but nice job by Briggs. Nice job by that offensive line to open that hole for him.
And now the extra point to be attempted by Brandon Marquez. Yeah, this Fort Morgan offense picking up where they left off 2 weeks ago. They weren't bad last week. They played a great defense, and the kick by Marquez is up and good. 6:46 to go, first quarter. It's Fort Morgan 7, Northridge nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. That's a little pooch kick fielded, and Fort Morgan with a nice tackle at the 29-yard line towards, I don't think that was Isaac Ness that time. That was the up man, Justin Thill, a sophomore. And because of the long kickoff return that went for, 42 yards to begin the game, different strategy for the Mustangs. Brian, that didn't seem like an 80-yard drive. The Mustangs made it look easy.
No, that was easy. 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Went 80 yards in 7 plays.
Briggs Wheatley from 13 yards out found the end zone. 1st and 10 for Northridge. Man in motion to the right, under centers the quarterback, Cooper Rose. There's the pitch right, and swinging it to the outside with a small seam across the 30 to the 31 is Dominic West. As the tackle was made, it's a gain of 2. And Fort Morgan quick to the football out there. 2nd down and 8 yards to go. Frank Ortega was in on the tackle.
2-yard gain on the play.
See if they can do it again. Make them 3 and out this time and get the ball back. Right now, Fort Morgan is dominating that line of scrimmage and hustling to the ball carrier.
Yeah, that carry by Damon West. 2nd down and 8 to go. Now 4 yards behind center. Quick drop. Rose throws out to his right. Wide open. Dropped at the 41-yard line. That was an easy pass there to, looked like might have been Braden Asmus.
Intended for number 11, Jaden Marquez.
Nope, that was Marquez instead. And Brian, he just dropped it. I mean, That's very, not only catchable, he could have closed his eyes and caught that. That's how well it was thrown, but it was just dropped. And loose coverage by Fort Morgan. 3rd down and 8 at the 31-yard line. Let's see, for Briggs Wheatley, that was his 11th rushing touchdown of the season. Out of the gun, 3rd and 8, quick drop. Rose out to his right, wide open, but that's incomplete. That was an errant throw along the sideline. Again towards Jaden Marquez, defended by Jose Mosqueda. That was not a good throw. 4th down and 8, and for the second time, Northridge has gone 3 and out. The Mustangs want to make this a quick night.
Yeah, that was not a good throw. Not a lot of pressure from the Mustangs on that one either. Just a bad throw out in front of the receiver.
Well, I think Northridge made adjustments. They figured with that type of pass rush they had on the sack, let's get rid of the ball quickly. Yeah. So even if Fort Morgan come through quickly, it would have been tough to get to Cooper Rose. Damon West standing at his own 15. High snap. Here comes the pressure. Oh, I thought Redding was going to block it. Fair catch by Marquez. He's got it at about the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. And Fort Morgan will have their second possession in better field position than the first when they went 80 yards for the score. And that first score brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Consulting services for all of your projects. Strong commitment to their clients' needs sets them apart. Get your project started the right way. Western Engineering Consultants, 1st and 10 at their own 34. We have 5:49 to go in the opening quarter. Thursday night football. The Mustangs 7-0, leading Northridge in a 13-yard touchdown run by Briggs Wheatley. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. They've already scored more points tonight, as many points as they did last week. Ortega to the right of the quarterback. Man in motion to the left is Fajardo. Now he realigns. This will be a keeper by Wheatley. Option right. He pitches to Fajardo. The sideline to the 45. He's now at the 50. Cuts it back to the 40. He gets loose at the 30. Fajardo's down at the 29. What a play. Man, Briggs Wheatley read that perfectly as part of the sighting came all here. I got hit in the face by part of the sighting. I didn't see that coming. I thought it was a flying bird. But, Brian, it's a gain of 36 yards and a first down for the Mustangs.
Yeah, nice job on that pitch out. But looked like he might have got nailed pretty good just before he got the pitch or right after he got the pitch off. So we'll see how Briggs handles himself now.
Yeah, well, he took a lot of hits last week. 1st and 10 from the 30 of Northridge. On the right hash mark, 5 yards behind center. This will be Ortega running up the middle, and he dives to about the 27-yard line, lunged through that small hole before, again, Parker Steckel and Dylan Hubbard around the football as well. Frank Ortega now has 3 carries for 27 yards. He had a 19-yarder on his first carry. 2nd down and 7 yards to go for the Mustangs at the 27 of Northridge.
Nice to see Oscar Ramirez back in there.
Yeah, he got banged up quite a bit. Pistol formation on 2nd and 7. Wheatley, play action to throw up the left sideline. Nobody's open. He just threw it over Mosqueda. And Mosqueda could not get loose. So that's actually a good pass by Wheatley, Brian, because there was nowhere to go. He probably, if he could have looked off his primary receiver, maybe would have found somebody, but it's 3rd down.
Yeah, Mosqueda was being guarded pretty close down there, just couldn't get around his defenders. But nice job by Wheatley to throw it away.
Well, you know, this is 4-down territory. 3rd down and 7 from the 27-yard line. Mustangs lead 7-0 in the opening quarter after the 13-yard TD run by Briggs Wheatley. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Out of the pistol formation, Ortega behind Wheatley. Has the football. There's the handoff to Ortega. Back to the inside. He's got a yard. It took a while for him to find a lane, and he didn't find it. And he got to the 26-yard line. A slow developing play. And the Grizzlies getting up very slowly. And limping over there is Dylan Hubbard. 4th down and 6 from the 26. And the Mustangs will be going for it here. Critical play, especially for Northridge, because they're already down by 7. A Grizzly nearly jumped to the left side, but did not get into the neutral zone. 4th and 6. And there's only one player that you're looking at right now, Briggs Wheatley.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have anybody open, he'll take off with the football. On 4th and 6 from the 26, and timeout is called now as the play clock was down to 2. And we'll keep it right here.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get the Grizzlies to jump off sides, and they were very disciplined and did not. Almost did there early on, but stayed on their side of the ball.
4th down and 6 to go after the first timeout called by Fort Morgan. In the, let's see where we got here, 3:46 to go in the first quarter. Well, it was jam-packed last week on both sides. Not too bad on the Fort Morgan side. You would think it's a Friday night.
Yep. Yeah, it looks good.
On the other side, not quite the fanfare for Northridge as Roosevelt had last week, but still pretty decent representation. It's a cold night if you're out there. We're in the press box. We do have the window open, so we do have some cool air coming in. 4th down and 6 to go for the 26 of Northridge. The Mustangs are looking to extend a 1-touchdown lead. Yanez, the receiver, to the right. 2 out to the left. Ortega to the right of the running back. Back to throw is Wheatley. Pressure up the middle. Out to his right. It's caught by Ortega. Stutter steps first down to the 15. Still on his feet to the 10. Ortega pinballing his way at about the 9-yard line. Frank Ortega ran a beautiful pattern. They're going to mark him back at the 10. 16 yards from Wheatley to Ortega. 1st and goal, Fort Morgan Mustangs.
Yeah, nice job there to find him coming across the middle there, and then he juked a few Grizzlies out of their
He
shoes.
didn't have the first down yet
No,
when he caught
no.
it, and I wasn't worried, but he had to get that first down quickly. 1st and goal at the 10. Will Ortega get the football? He will not. Play action throw out to the right, incomplete to Marquez. He wasn't turned around yet, and he was tightly covered at the 1. But that was a timing pattern. Damon West was in on the coverage. Wheatley now 3 out of 5 for 49 yards. 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. We have hit the 3-minute mark here in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan with a 7-0 lead. And 2 receivers are split out to the left. Just over 3 minutes to go. 3:15 to be exact. So they probably will score with just over 3 minutes to go if they get into the end zone right now. Fajardo resets in the backfield. Wheatley will keep it himself off the fake. And he's hit hard at about the 8-yard line. He took a shot from the upper body by Corbin Brink, a defensive end. The gain of 2, 3rd and goal. Wheatley now has 3 carries for 26 yards. 3rd and goal from the 8. The Mustangs are taking up some time here on this drive, considering they're played with a shorter field than the last drive. Redding is the receiver to the right. Marquez and Fajardo to the left. 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. The Mustangs are vying for their 7th win of the year. Trips to the left as Ortega sets up on the inside slot. Rolling to his left is Wheatley. Backside pressure, throws on a run. Caught by Marquez at the 3, but he's down shy of the goal line. At the 2.
To Fernando Marquez.
Well, they might backtrack it to the 3, yeah. That's the 3-yard line.
3-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down.
Pick up a 5. 3rd reception for Marquez. 4th and goal. They're lined up on the left hash mark at the 3. This might be Briggs Wheatley time again because, Brian, when you're operating with a short field, it's not easy to pass at all.
No, everybody's right there. You got a lot of territory they don't have to cover.
Well, let me tell you, we might see a second timeout here, and we do. A second timeout is called by Fort Morgan. You're bunched up on the left hash mark. You don't have much room over there. Passing is going to be tough, and you don't want to throw a fade pattern. That's a 50-50 ball at times. You want to keep the ball in the hands of your best player, which is Briggs Wheatley.
Yep. Let's see if they maybe go to that option play that they have, where you get Briggs outside there a little bit. So
on 4th and goal, they've already converted a 4th down. Yep. How many plays on this drive, Brian? It's been double digits, probably.
This will be the 9th one that they'll run.
Okay. Well, because they picked up that first down so quickly with that long run by Fajardo. 4th and goal at the 3. The Mustangs scored in their opening drive when they went 80 yards. And Briggs Wheatley cruised into the end zone from 13 yards away. And now the Mustangs face a 4th and goal. And if at the very least they'll be backing up Northridge, which would have 97 yards to go if the Mustangs do not pick up another yard.
4th and goal from the 3.
Both teams back out on the field in the waning moments of the opening quarter. On a Thursday night, on a cool Thursday night. See, temperature's got to be close to the upper 40s at this point. Mid-50s this afternoon. 46 right now. 4th and goal at the 3. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Will Wheatley take this himself? Wheatley is going to roll out to his right, throws into the end zone. Dropped by Marquez. A flag is down, though. Well, I hope he didn't push off. If Marquez pushed off, this penalty would be declined. He dropped it at the goal line, but if it's against Fort Morgan, it's only because Marquez might have pushed off. Let's see.
Yeah.
And I think it's against Fort Morgan. And it might not even be the interference. Let's see. Preliminary indication will be personal foul, roughing the passer.
We have personal foul, roughing the
But that was thrown by the back judge, Brian. I'd never seen that from.
And pass interference on the offense.
Oh,
yeah, it's offsetting penalties. I thought Marquez pushed off, but I didn't see
the penalty flag back here. Oh, there it is. He's picking it up.
So the back judge did call it against Marquez, and the head referee called the other penalty against Northridge. So, you know what that's called, Brian? A mulligan, I guess.
Guess so. Yep.
All right, 4th and goal. Yeah, that's what I have. It's such tight formation. Now they're spreading it out a little bit. 2 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. 4th and goal from the 3. Wheatley's going to roll out to his right. No pressure. Throws into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Oh, just to the side of the pylon. Braden Fajardo. 3 yards from Briggs Wheatley. That was a gorgeous pass and a nice catch. It was thrown about helmet level, and the Mustangs lead 13-0 late in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was the same play they had run just before that they got both penalties on. So nice job by the Mustangs to come back and execute that play to perfection.
The extra point to be attempted by Brandon Marquez to give Fort Morgan a 14-point lead. Nice throw near that pylon. The kick by Marquez is up right down the middle. We have a minute 46 to go before the end of the first quarter. It's Fort Morgan 14, Northridge nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brandon Marquez with a high short kick fielded at the 19. Damon West, check that, at the 25-yard line, a seam to the outside again along the right sideline to the 50-yard line. Tackle from behind is, looks like Braden Asmus.
On the return.
A return of 31, and Fort Morgan special teams is broken down. I'm not sure who made the tackle along the far sideline, Brian, but they got suckered into the short side of the field.
Yeah, they didn't hold their lanes out there very good, and he was caught from behind, thank goodness. It'd be 14-6 at the moment.
Yeah, that was not good by the Mustangs. It's an official return of 30 yards. Northridge with great field position at their own 49, but the Mustangs do lead 14-0. Out of the gun, running backs to the left and right, and movement on the right guard for Northridge, and that's a second penalty against them. The first one was the offsetting penalties that Fort Morgan was also obviously involved with. 1st and 15. They can't afford to commit a penalty, Brian.
No, they can't. They're down 14-0 here, but they've got to play almost their perfect game to try and win this game here tonight.
1st and 10, make it 15 at their own 44-yard line. Fort Morgan has scored in their first 2 possessions. Cooper Rose, 4-step drop, throws over the middle, complete. Near a first down, but short of a first down to the 44. And I'll give them the 43, maybe. It's a gain of 13. Looked like the pass was caught by Jace Reed.
Pass is completed to the 43-yard line.
That's what I thought I saw.
2nd down.
Yeah, he's caught had 14 receptions, 263 yards.
Hand off to West, left side on the sweep. First down to the 39 for a gain of about 4 for Damon West.
Number 4, Damon West on the carry. It is good for a Grizzlies first down. Ball on the 30.
1 minute to go, and clock is moving here in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan 14, Northridge nothing. The Mustangs looking to move to 7-1 and hand Northridge their 3rd loss in 9 games. On the left hash mark, out of the gun, 1st and 10 for the 39. Rose, quick drop, no pressure. Now deep over the middle, that's going to be incomplete, and they got pressure late there. Looked like Jesse Kappa came through at the last minute and forcing Rose to airmail the throw. Brendan Peterson, the intended receiver, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he was pretty well covered down there, but he got rid of it just a little bit earlier than he wanted to.
Well, they're going to have to establish some sort of running game here. On 2nd down and 10 for the Mustang 39. They were in Mustang territory in the first drive because of another long kickoff return. And this time they have trips to the right. Jaden Marquez is the inside receiver. No receivers out to the left. Let's see if Rose is going to roll to his right. Pressure coming up the middle. Sets, throws out to his right, and it's incomplete. Ortega was there, and it looked like the receiver was almost playing a defensive role because Marquez got a – if Jaden Marquez doesn't get a hand on the ball, Frank's going to take it maybe to the house.
Yeah, he was just basically trying to knock it down just so Frankie couldn't get to it, so –
3rd down and 10 to go at the Northridge, at the Mustang 39-yard line for Northridge. Jace Reed, the outside receiver to the right. In fact, he's there by himself. No inside receivers. Under center this time. Man in motion to the right as Peterson rolling that way, setting up a screen to the left. Here comes the pressure, and the ball is fumbled, and Jesse Campa's got it. Oh, that was David Keller with a hit in the sack back at the 47. The ball was loose, and Campa jumped on it, and the Mustangs come up with that fumble recovery that they haven't had in a few games.
That's for sure. And that's something that the stats are showing that Northridge will do is put the ball on the ground, and that's the first time they've done it tonight. See if the Mustangs can capitalize from their own 45.
That was that's the only thing you needed on your nickel package there, and that was much more worth than a nickel. 1st and 10 at the 45. Trips to the left. Wheatley by himself in the backfield. Northridge jumped. Northridge did jump, and now the ball's at midfield. Man, Fort Morgan's looking good tonight. Congratulations to the boys soccer team. They lost 1-0 in overtime on the 13th minute goal by Josh Kurtz of Meade, but a great best season ever for the boys soccer team, 13-2-1.
Came in number 1 in the Long Speak League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They won the championship. Their only loss this year was to Riverdale Ridge. 1st down and 5 at midfield. Yeah, man, fun to watch that soccer team. Lots of talent. Low snap. Wheatley's got to pick it up. He'll run with a football, go back to the original line of scrimmage. No gain, but there's nothing Wheatley could do. That was not a good snap. And, in fact, he bobbled it himself. He tried to pick it up a little bit too quickly.
We'll see if they'll just let the clock run out now. We're down to 10 seconds, so we'll see what they do.
On 2nd down and 5, and they'll let the clock run out. We played 12 minutes of football on a Thursday night. Fort Morgan 14, Northridge nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
14-0.
John Beltran with Brian Nickel. Let's head to the second quarter. And the Mustangs lead 14-0. A 13-yard touchdown run by Briggs Wheatley and a 3-yard pass on a fourth down from Wheatley to Fajardo. And it's at midfield, and the Fort Morgan Mustangs just came up with the first turnover of the game, a sack by Keller. The ball was loose, and Jesse Camper recovered. 2 receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right. Ortega to the left of the quarterback, Wheatley, who's got the football, will hand it off on a strange play up the middle, and Ortega stutter steps to the 46. Some hesitation there. There was no hole, and that's why I called it strange, because he was kind of like shuffling left and right, but he still got to the 46 for a gain of 4. Now the playbook is wide open at 3rd and 1.
At the 46-yard line, 3rd down.
Yeah, they ought to be able to pick this up without any problem, unless they fumble the ball again back here, but that doesn't happen very often. These guys are pretty sure-handed.
Ortega now unofficially with 32 yards on 6 carries. 3rd and 1, pistol formation. Wheatley hands it off to Ortega. First down off left tackle, and he's still driving using those strong legs to the 41 for a gain of 5. And the sticks continue to move, and once again, Parker Steckel is all over this football field for Northridge.
55, Parker Steckel.
And they block him, Brian. They're going to score a lot.
Yeah.
He made a lot of tackles tonight. I mean, he's got some assistance, but it's mainly been Parker Steckel. By the way, a very good baseball player, too. Fort Morgan found that out last year in the opening game when they lost 12-11 before beating them in Fort Morgan. On 1st and 10 for the 41-yard line. 2 receivers split out to the right. Now Fajardo's in motion to the left. Will he have the football? No, a handoff. Nope, it's Wheatley with the option right. Wheatley to the 30-yard line. Wheatley is tripped up at the 27. Looked like McCoy was going to have a lot of yardage up the middle because he went through an empty hole, but he never had the football. And for Briggs Wheatley, it's a gain of 13 yards and a Mustang first down.
Yeah, nice looking play. I thought the guy up the middle had it. But
yeah, he ran like he had it. That's
yeah.
McCoy.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to sell that handoff even if you don't get the ball. So, nice job.
1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at the 27-yard line. To 27 now. That would have given Wheatley 14 yards in the play, so let me not cheat him out of that extra yard. 14-0 Mustangs in the opening minutes here of quarter number 2. Touchdown pass and a touchdown run for Wheatley. From the 27, Wheatley hands off. Big hole up the right side. A flag is down to the 22. I think that was McCoy, but Fort Morgan's going to be flagged here for a penalty.
Yeah.
I believe there was a hold on the right side, which would draw them back to about the 37-yard line.
Number 27, Levi McCoy.
Preliminary indication is a block in the back. I think I saw a block in the back.
I think that was a hold. I think he was showing
Okay, straight up hold. That'll drive them back.
10-yard spot foul.
Back to the 35.
Still first down.
So it'll be 1st down and 17. So give McCoy 3 yards in the play. He is credited with 3 yards forward, but it's still a 1st down at the 34, which makes that penalty more worthless, Brian, because he had running room there, and the penalty was nonsensical.
Yeah. That was, part of what Coach Shai Davies was talking about was some of these penalties that they've got to quit making if they want to, once they get into the playoffs, to continue on.
And Fort Morgan has taken their 3rd and final timeout. Well, you can afford to do that when you're up by 2 touchdowns, but now they cannot have another mishap.
Yeah.
Stubbs Gas and Oil, easy and convenient, makes them the only stop you need on your way to the big game. That's Stubbs Gas and Oil. We have 9 minutes and 44 seconds to go, second quarter. Along with Brian Nickel, I'm John Beltran. The Mustangs lead 14-0. They have not been stopped so far tonight. Drives of 80 and 66 yards. But they needed 2 fourth-down conversions, including the touchdown, to score in their previous drive.
Yep, that's something that they've been able to do, though, and we've seen it all year long with this team. When their back's against the wall is when they perform the best. So
yeah, 1st and 20. I mean,
yeah,
picked up a 1st and 36 against Niwot.
Yeah, 1st and 99. Oh,
well,
it's 1st and 10, but it went
if
99
it was
yards,
1st and 99, they still would have converted that one. That's crazy. There was a play that I saw like 2-3 years ago. Louisiana Tech. I forgot who they were playing. They fumbled the ball backwards. It's on YouTube. And they fumbled it so badly that it turned into a 3rd and 87. I've got to find this. We'll look for it at halftime, Brian. It's fascinating. The Louisiana Tech play is one of the most fast. It went from like a 2nd and 15 or 10 to a 3rd and 87. And I'm not even exaggerating on the 87. It's second down, first down and 17. Play action to throw out to his left, incomplete. Off the mark. Marquez, the intended receiver, at the 28-yard line. Second down and 17.
Helping out on the coverage, number 26, Isaac.
Wheatley has thrown for 57 yards. In fact, he is 5 for 8, 57 yards through the air. Trips to the left. The lone receiver to the right is Chase Redding. And normally when you have a second and long like this, Mustangs either throw something over the middle or Briggs Wheatley allows the field to open up and then he'll run himself. On second down, back to throw, pressure coming, and that slant is incomplete. Terrible throw by Wheatley. At the feet, not even to the feet of Fajardo at the 21. I don't know if he did that on purpose, Brian, because there was some decent coverage out there.
Yeah, he was getting pressured back there. He got hit not real hard right after he threw the ball, but he was getting some pressure up in his face. So.
Well, I think they're going to send these guys deep, and then Wheatley's going to run. Because anytime Wheatley runs, especially when the field is spread out, you're guaranteed positive yardage.
Yeah.
Out of the pistol, 3rd and 17 from the 34 of Northridge. Back to throw, out to his left, caught by Marquez at the 35. To the inside of the 30. Marquez is tackled across the 25. It'll still go for about 10 yards on that little screen out to the left, that little bubble screen. Marquez with his 4th reception. And more importantly for Fort Morgan, 4th down and 7 to go at the 24. Brian, this is par for the course for them today.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what they do to pick this up.
And that was a design play so the pressure got in on Wheatley. So they could get rid of it and isolate Marquez. 4th down and 7 at the 24. 3 receivers split out to the right. Wheatley's going to roll to his right. Pressure's coming, throws off his back foot. In the end zone, wide open. Oh, dropped by Ortega. How do you drop that football? He was open by 4 or 5 yards, and he dropped it. And it goes over to Northridge. A perfect throw by Wheatley. It would have been a 24-yard touchdown pass, and Frank, who has great hands, dropped it.
It looked like he got tied up. He didn't get his hands correct or something there, and it just, instead of getting his hands out in front of him, it just looked like he just didn't have the right hand.
I agree. I think he wanted to position them another way. Man, what an easy throw, and should have been an easy catch. 8:50 to go before the break. Northridge takes over at their own 24 under center. Passed out in the left flat, caught, and Jace Reed tries to break a tackle, still on his feet, and he's down after a gain of 1 to the 25. Marquez was in there initially. He held them up for his teammates. 2nd down and 9 to go at the 25-yard line for Northridge.
Pass is completed for a 1-yard gain.
Oh, Brian, that hurts. Should be 21-0.
Yeah, he was wide open.
Great pattern run by Ortega. Couldn't finish it off under center. There's the deep handoff right up the gut, and nothing maybe at the line of scrimmage. I think that's Ness. And that is Daniel Serna along with David Keller to make the hit. And that was Ness. 3rd down and 9 to go. Ness, the leading rusher throughout the season, has 4 yards on 3 carries.
Yeah, the defense has done an excellent job here tonight so far to limit Northridge. Their best weapon so far tonight has been on kick returns.
Yep, on special teams. Yeah, 3rd down and 9 from their own 25. 4 yards behind center. Rose looking to throw. Out to his right. Wide open, complete. 1st down. That's a great pass to the 37 and a gain of 12. And that is caught by Brendan Peterson before he went down to the ground. Nice looking pass there.
Yep. Playing a little loose on him. They'll have to tighten that up a little bit unless he's got some speed that they don't want to let him get behind him.
Yeah, Mosqueda's out on this near side. Now the Mustangs make a substitution as Xander Gleam checks in. 1st and 10 for Northridge at their own 37-yard line. 7:10 to go, 2nd quarter. Fort Morgan 14, Northridge nothing. 4 yards behind center. There is a penalty marker down. False start against the Grizzlies.
False start on the
just keep shooting themselves in the foot. It's just tough to get any momentum going when you keep doing that.
I think that's probably the safest body part to use that phrase, Brian, because I've never heard shoot themselves anywhere else.
No.
Right? I think in the foot is the easiest one. It's the most conservative one. It doesn't get you in trouble on air. You know, they say shoot yourself in the foot. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's been using that. First down and 15 from their own 32-yard line off the false start. And out of the gun, back to throw Rose. A lot of time out to his right, incomplete into the Fort Morgan bench. Intended for Carbon Brink.
Number 10, Carbon Brink.
Second down and 15 to go. Limited success so far. 3 out of 8 for 26 yards for Cooper Rose.
Yeah, that pass didn't look good at all.
Junior quarterback for Northridge. From their own 32, they've got to get to the 47 on 2nd and 15. By himself, looks to throw, slant, caught at the 40 to the 44, short of a first down, but a gain of 12. Loose coverage again, and that, I believe that's Jace Reed with his 3rd reception. And now it's 3rd down.
Pass is completed to number 11, Jaden Marquez.
Well, I thought that was Reed. No, that's Reed out there. That was not Marquez. 3rd down and 3 at the 44. Quick drop under center. Pressure. Lost the ball, but he gets it back. He dives on it at the 43-yard line. Man, you got to secure that football. Rose doesn't do that great of a job. Keller was in there in the backfield, and also in that backfield for Fort Morgan. Is that a 67?
Alcon Ortiz. Yep.
Alcon Ortiz, that's a sack. And a loss of 1. Northridge to punt. They did move the ball a little bit. Let's see if Fort Morgan can break one here on special teams. Watch out for the fake here on 4th and 4. High snap, it's off to his right. He'll get it off, and it's blocked! It's blocked and picked up by Keller. Keller tackled at the 14. I think he blocked it and picked it up and returned it for about 20 yards. It took a while. They've had those high, slow slaps.
Yep.
And off the high, slow snaps, that's allowed Fort Morgan to nearly get in there for another block earlier in the game. And the Mustangs are already in the red zone.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be blocked maybe from the kid coming from the right side. I didn't even see who was it that got that? That was David Keller. Yeah, nice job by him coming in from the left side.
1st and 10 along the right hash mark at the 14-yard line of Northridge. Still plenty of time to go before halftime. 5 minutes, 29 seconds to go. The Mustangs on a 13-yard touchdown run by Wheatley and a 3-yard pass on a 4th down from Wheatley to Fajardo. Lead 14-0 and threatening once again. And looking to make this a laugher. Wheatley by himself in that backfield. Back to throw. He'll take off with a football, but he runs into a offensive lineman. He is down. He's thrown down for a loss at the 18-yard line. A loss of 4. Parker Steckel again brings Wheatley down to the ground.
I'm not sure what that was going to be. It looked like he was going to have the fake pass and take off running, but it just collapsed on him too quick.
On 2nd down and 14 from the 18-yard line. That's the only thing we've seen from Fort Morgan tonight. They've been in 2nd and long, 2nd and double-digit longs. Pistol formation. Wheatley, option right. He'll run with a football to the 15, and he's going to be down. Check it, the 19. He might have lost yardage again.
Yeah, they're bringing everybody. They're going to have to start hitting some passes. Well, they've been hitting passes, but
well, they got back to the 18. No gain.
They're bringing them linebackers, and there's just no room right now for him to run.
3rd down and 14 for the 18. Fort Morgan didn't come out flat, but they've been flat in this 2nd quarter. Although there should have been a touchdown pass from Wheatley to Ortega, who dropped the ball. On 3rd and 14, Wheatley, deep drop, sets up a screen, and it's off Ortega. Incomplete, thrown behind him at the 20-yard line. 4th down. I wonder if you send in Brandon Marquez here for a field goal.
Well, we'll see what they are up to here. But
Wheatley has 1 out of his last 5 for 10 yards since that 3-yard touchdown completion, and they will be sending in Brandon Marquez to attempt a field goal. I think that's the right play. It's not a long field goal. It'll be about 35 yards as they bring in the kicking team. Remember, the play clock is going to run down pretty quickly. You have no timeouts. Charlie Langford off the hold. 35-yard field goal from the right hash mark. Awaiting the snap. There it is. It's down. And the kick is up. Looks like it's a good one from here. And that is good. Just over the crossbar. 35 yards away from Brandon Marquez. We've got 3:59 to go before halftime. Fort Morgan 17, Northridge nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs kick a 35-yard field goal, Brian, by going backwards.
Going backwards 4 yards.
Yeah, that's not a good drive. I mean, they kicked it, but that was the play made there by David Keller off the block punt. And now Marquez to kick it off. 17-0 Fort Morgan. Line drive, and the defender or the returner falls down, picks it up at the 5-yard line. That is Asmus along the left side. Keller nearly had him. There's a flag down, and he's down across the 15, maybe to the 18-yard line. Fort Morgan caught a huge break, but that's a great kick by Marquez, middle of the field, where Northridge was not expecting it, as Asmus just fell to the turf.
Yeah, I think they were expecting that short kick like he had been doing. This time he tried to kick it over their head, and it worked. The hold on Northridge.
Illegal block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. Excuse me.
Hold on. He said illegal block in the back. It's just block in the back, right?
Yeah.
Unless there's something illegal.
This is true.
Right, yeah.
True.
It's like a touchdown in the end zone. It's always a touchdown in the end zone. All right, here we go. And now I'm just getting the PA some flack here. 1st down and 10. The ball is just shy of the 6-yard line. Deep handoff running is Damon West along the left sideline, and he might have a yard or two. The Mustangs just flowed defensively with a running back and picked up a yard, maybe 2. Now they give him the 7. Gain of 1 for Damon West. 3 carries for 7 yards. 2nd down and 9 to go from the 7. Big opportunity for Fort Morgan with 3:27 to go to score before halftime, but they have no timeouts. They got to stop Northridge. Pass is caught by Marquez out in the right flat, and he's got nothing. At the line of scrimmage, that play developed quickly, but he kind of spun himself around, and Fort Morgan was there to make the play, so give him the completion, but essentially for no gain. Now,
yeah, you got the pass out there, but the defense was there quickly to stop it from going anywhere else.
Oh, they'll place the football at the 8. So 3rd down and around 7.5 to go. They've got to get past the 15-yard line. Under center, the quarterback, Cooper Rose. Quick drop. Looks to throw. Plenty of time. Out to his left. Incomplete to Marquez. Very, very short throw at the 10-yard line. He had him wide open, Brian, but I don't think it would have picked up the 1st down anyway.
I don't think he had gone very far, but that was not a good throw. And he really didn't have that much pressure on him. He set up real quick out there and then just short-armed it into the ground.
All right, so this is punt time for Northridge. The Mustangs with 2:42 to go before halftime. They should make this at least a 20-0, if not a 24-0 game.
Timeout, Northridge.
Yeah, and West is standing 8 yards deep in the end zone. So Fort Morgan, barring a penalty or something, should have incredible field position. They've scored from 80 yards out, a 66-yard drive. And I'd like to say that was a 35-yard field goal off a 15-yard drive or a 50-yard drive. It was a 35-yard field goal off essentially a -4. You never see that.
No.
-4 yards on that 35-yard field goal moments ago by Brandon Marquez.
Let's see what they come up with here. See if they can send him in there once again.
On 4th down and 8 from their own 7-yard line. Well, I know Coach Davies would love to have his second unit in there in the second half, but their lead is not big enough. They need a 40-point lead to get to a running clock. And Damon West, again, 8 yards deep in his own end zone. The Mustangs have 7 up at the line of scrimmage. The snap gets there, and the left-footed boot's a nice one, backing up as Ortega at midfield. Ortega stutter stepping to the 45, now to the 40. A seam up the middle to the 33, maybe the 32. The return is close to 18 yards. And a Northridge player getting up rather gingerly and slowly. And that is Brendan Peterson, but Fort Morgan has great field position off the 18-yard return by Frank Ortega, and time's not even a factor.
No, 2:31 left in the first half.
17-0 Mustangs. Fajardo and Marquez are the receivers to the right. Elvin Yanez to the left. Pistol formation once again for Fort Morgan. at the 32 of Northridge. There's the snap. Quick throw out to the right, caught by Marquez at the 32. He spins. He's tackled at the 30. That play has not worked too well except
Number
once.
1, Fernando Marquez on the
Pickup of
reception.
2 on the reception to Marquez. And where did that flag come from?
It was late. It looked like.
Was that a flag or just an official's timeout?
I'm not sure what it.
Sideline warning against Northridge. Well, that's not a warning. It's a penalty.
And that's something they.
Well, I can't tell the difference. What's a warning and what's a penalty? Maybe they were warned before without throwing the flag. That's a 15-yard penalty.
Wow.
I don't think we see that. I think that's just a penalty. But we've seen that same violation called, and it turns out to be a warning.
Yeah.
So when is it a warning and when is it a penalty?
15-yard line.
I don't get that, Brian.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
2:18 to go. Clock is stopped. First down and 10 for the Mustangs off that penalty. Now they'll restart the clock as we approach the 2:10 mark at the 15-yard line. Naked backfield. Wheatley with pressure coming. 3-step drop. And the pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Tried to throw it to his left, but deflected away. And Briggs Wheatley, since the 3-yard touchdown pass, is 2 out of 7 for 12 yards. Passing game isn't working.
Nope. No. One of them wasn't his fault, though. He had it right in the hands of Frankie. And
right. It should have been a touch. Yeah,
that
I'm not blaming that all on
right.
Briggs. He's going to roll out to his left on 2nd down and 10. Throws in a run. Pass is caught along the sideline to Marquez. He goes out of bounds inside the 10. Might be the 7.
Stopped at the 6-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's the 7.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2 to go. Marquez with 6 receptions tonight. All right, this is Wheatley time, you would think. Plenty of time. 3rd down and 2. Just inside the 7 of Northridge. What do we have? Northridge had to have called a timeout. They're 2nd. That just helped Fort Morgan.
Yep, that gives them a little bit of chance here to catch their breath, get their wits about them, and see what they want to do to pick up this first down.
We'll get to the halftime show at the end of this first half without taking a break because we do have a long halftime show like we had last week, a championship reflection segment. It'll be, I believe we have Fort Morgan Mustang wrestling featured tonight. Believe we have that. We've had wrestling and volleyball, some of the championship, some of those athletes that we've had in years past. But just check it out. That's coming up at halftime. Fort Morgan 17, Northridge nothing. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel. One more game remaining a week from tomorrow night against the Holy Family Tigers here again at Legion Field. Holy Family, another team that's played some competitive football this year. So Fort Morgan will face a 3rd down and 2 to go at the Northridge 7.
3rd down for the Mustangs after the Northridge timeout.
Northridge's defense has been a lot more impressive in the 2nd quarter, though.
Yeah.
They've given Fort Morgan some issues. Naked backfield, man in motion to the left is Ortega. And Wheatley up the middle off the snap, 1st down.
Briggs Wheatley on the
Wheatley got to about the 4.
Gain is to the 4-yard line.
Gain of 3 for Wheatley. No reason to rush things for Fort Morgan. 1st and goal at the 4. Right up to the line of scrimmage. That's because the clock reads a minute 16 to go. It's still rolling, no timeouts, but you're so close to the end zone. There's no need to rush on 1st and goal. Ortega's in motion to the right. He's got the football, and he's got nothing. He fights his way, but I don't think he got back. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it wasn't much there. Their defense, like you said, is,
they're going to give him, it's back to the line of scrimmage, no gain. 2nd and goal inside the 4. Now we are under a minute to go. In fact, we're at 45 seconds to go. You might have to pass it at some point. They'll mark it, they'll say the 3 now. Wheatley, low snap, rolls out to his left, end zone, deflected away, intended for Ramirez. Broken up at the goal line by Isaac Ness, and that could have been picked.
Yeah. If he'd have just floated that over the top of him, he'd have been, Ramirez would have had a touchdown.
Yeah, he was wide open, but you're right, Briggs had no air under it. Too much of a line drive by Briggs Wheatley. 3rd down and goal. Well, they're still going to say it's the 4, according to the scoreboard, so we'll call it the 4. 35.8 seconds to go. Well, you have 2 plays to score, and you could still run the ball and have time. You could run the ball. Wheatley could run it, or Ortega. You might try an option right, pistol formation. 3rd and goal for the 4. Wheatley, option left. He'll fake the pitch. He'll run up the middle. He's not going to get in. He's going to be short. And there's a late flag. He got to about the 1-yard line. Now let's see what the flag's all about. Oh, that might be a break for Fort Morgan that they actually stopped.
Northridge is pointing to Fort Morgan, so we'll see what.
Boy, there was a hold that deep.
Sideline warning?
That doesn't make any sense. How is there a sideline, or is there a push? It can't be a sideline warning.
It a push? Oh, they were pulling him, it looks like they were saying.
I don't know what that is, but
it's 3rd down again.
Should still be 3rd down.
5-yard
and now the ball.
Clock's running.
The ball's at the 5, 20 seconds to go. They have no timeouts. They got to get rid of this. 16 seconds to go. At the 5-yard line on 3rd and goal. Got to be a passing situation. Wheatley back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Wants to run. Wheatley's not going to get anywhere. He's going to be taken down. And the clock is going to run down to 5.1 seconds. Why did they stop the clock? Why did the clock stop? And now they're going to get off a play. Wheatley to throw, and time has run out. He throws into the end zone. It's caught by Fajardo, but that time should have run out. There's no reason to stop the clock. It would have been 4th and goal. No gain for Wheatley on the previous play. And, yeah, that should be halftime. They should not have been allowed to run that play.
I don't know why it stopped. I don't understand that they didn't.
No, there was no reason for the clock to stop. No reason whatsoever. It should be 17-0. They should call this right now. And, yeah, that's it. That play did not count, and it should not have counted. No. All right, the score at halftime. Mustang Halftime Show brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Quite frankly, a miserable second quarter for Fort Morgan offensively after the 13-yard touchdown run by Wheatley and the 3-yard pass on a 4th down from Wheatley to Fajardo, and then Brandon Marquez a 35-yard field goal as the Mustangs went backwards. We'll have a recap statistically of the first half coming up at the end of our halftime show. It's a 30-second break. Fort Morgan 17, Northridge nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel from Legion Field. The Mustangs lead 17-0 as we head to the 3rd quarter, and Damon West will kick it off. And Fort Morgan outgained Northridge in the first half 189-50. But, Brian, that Mustang offense, which was terrific in the first quarter, had a change of performance in the second quarter.
Yeah, they didn't look good at all, and that might have had a little something to do with the way Northridge was playing some defense there in that second quarter. They were bringing a lot of guys on Briggs, and just didn't have the time to do it and wasn't being able to get open for the run either.
The game time temperature was at 48 degrees, and obviously it's going to drop a little bit now at 45, but hopefully they'll be a lot hotter than the temperature. And West runs up to the football, and this one is squibbed. It's still loose, picked up at the 30-yard line by Charlie Langford, and he's across the 35, actually the 25, now to the 40. It's a return of 15 yards after the pickup by Langford. Good field position. The Mustangs scored from 80 yards away and 66 yards away on their first 2 drives, and they need to pick up where they left off in the first quarter.
Yeah, they need to get it together here on this first drive, and don't let Northridge hang around here and make them think that they have a chance in this contest, because they're just being outplayed. Fort Morgan just didn't play up to their standards in that second quarter.
Mustangs have a 13-yard touchdown run from Wheatley, a 3-yard scoring pass from Wheatley to Fajardo on 4th down, and then a 35-yard field goal by Brandon Marquez. Pistol formation. Wheatley 5 yards behind center. 1st and 10 for the 40. Fajardo in motion to the left. And there was some confusion there. I think one player went in the wrong direction. That might have been the quarterback, Wheatley, thrown for a loss at the 37. He ran to his right, and everybody else was running left, and I don't think that's the deception they wanted, Brian. In fact, I think he fooled himself.
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to have been an option play left, and he went right, and that just messed everything up then and lost, 3 yards.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with this offense since that second drive. They've gone backwards even on a scoring drive, and they should have got at least a field goal. They went down to the 4-yard line, could not get into the end zone. Now it's a 2nd down and 13 for the 37. I don't recognize this offense right now. Maybe a big play will get them going in the right direction. Blitz is coming. Wheatley rolls to his left, throws on the run, and it's complete, but that's a diving reception by Fajardo at the 44. The pass was kind of short of the target, but Fajardo with a nice catch. It's a gain of 7, third down, and 6 to go for Fort Morgan. Fajardo with a second reception. His first was a touchdown.
Yeah, it wasn't, he was getting some pressure from his right side, but it just wasn't a good pass.
Third down and 6 just past their own 44-yard line. The Mustangs, as they customarily do, get up to the line of scrimmage and look over to the bench for play instructions. Ortega's in that backfield to the left of the quarterback, Wheatley. 2 receivers split out to the left. Now pistol formation. Fajardo's in motion to the right. Wheatley to throw. A swing pass, and that's behind. That ball is a lateral. It's loose, and Northridge, could they fall on it? And they did it around the 30. There is a flag down. There's a penalty marker down at the 43. The only thing that can save Fort Morgan is if that penalty is against Northridge, because that pass was actually a lateral, went about a couple of yards backwards, and this will be a hold against Fort Morgan. Decline Northridge football, and this offense continues to look atrocious after, though it's going to be termed there as a fumble. That's just a bad lateral there from Wheatley to Frank Ortega. It's at the 29. Brian, I don't get what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking here. I don't know what you'd have thought. If there was going to be a letdown, it would have been early in the game and not continued from the second quarter.
First and 10 for the Grizzlies at the 29, trying to get back into this game, trailing 17-0 in the early moments of quarter number 3. The backs are in an eye, and the receiver split to the left. There's the deep handoff, running right and back towards the middle to the 25, and that is Isaac Ness, the leading ground gainer all season. As the Mustangs get in on the tackle, Timothy Paxton in on the hit. Second down and 7 to go. Ness now with 4 carries, but only 7 yards for the junior.
Yeah, the defense has been playing their game tonight. It's the offense that's got to get their act together.
Second down and 7 from the 26. Shotgun formation to throw. Slant is thrown behind the receiver, but he made the catch. That's a heck of an adjustment by Jaden Marquez all the way to the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 10.
Is good for Grizzlies first.
And Northridge right up to the line of scrimmage in the red zone to throw. Rose, Slant, intercepted at the 9-yard line. Here's Fajardo along the left sideline to the 30. He cuts it back to the middle to the 35. Fajardo to the 36, a return of 27. Fajardo was just sitting there, and Rose did not see the Mustang defender. And Connor Fajardo's got a touchdown catch in the game. Now has an interception. Fort Morgan has come up with their second turnover on defense.
Yeah, nice job there by Fajardo. Yeah, he was just sitting there just waiting for it to come to him. He just got it and away he went.
They've had more offense on a defensive play than the last 10 plays combined. That's how crazy this has been for Fort Morgan on offense. An offensive unit that we did not recognize after the first quarter. First and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 36-yard line. 9:28 to go, third quarter, up 17-0. Handoff up the middle. Frank Ortega's hole closes quickly. It's a gain of 4 to the 40. The tackle is made by Parker Steckel, who has been in on so many tackles tonight.
Ortega on the carry.
And
40-yard line, second down.
Trying to get that second guy over there. The left defensive end also around the football. Nonetheless, Ortega picks up 4 yards, second down and 6 to go. Frank Ortega now with 9 carries for 41 yards, but he did have that big 19-yarder, so after that, not a lot of running room. Out of the gun, Wheatley, play action, will take off with the football, run to his left. He stops, and then he's driven out of bounds. That's going to be a face mask easily. Man, they grabbed him right around the face mask. He got to the 44. So give him the 4 yards, but it's going to go 15 further. I think that's going to be the 15-yard variety.
Yeah, he had him right up there. He didn't pull him too bad, but he...
Nope, you're right. My bad. That's only a 5-yard face mask, but it is a first down. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he just grasped it but did not pull it. And that's the difference between a 5 and a 15-yarder.
On the 49-yard line.
Mustangs still on their own side of the field at the 49. They had aspirations after the first quarter of getting to a running clock. You got to be up by 40, but they're nowhere near that. This will be a full game for this team. First down and 10 yards to go at their own 49-yard line. In motion to the right is Fajardo. Play action. Looks to throw pressure up the middle. Throws off his back foot. It broken up at the 30. And Wheatley took a shot.
That ball's incomplete.
There was a
Marquez,
Grizzly
the intended
who
receiver.
came through completely untouched. And that was not a bad throw by Wheatley because of the
Number
pressure.
35.
That was tough. He's taking the beating tonight. He's going to have to take care of himself, but the coaches need to run some plays here to take care of him. So,
Well, with the way they were coming through, Brian, that one player, I thought it was a screen pass. Because normally you allow the defense to come in, but that was a missed assignment by somebody in the offensive line. 2nd and 10 for the 49. Wheatley pass out underneath, caught by Marquez at the 50. Down the middle of the field to the 40. First down across the 40. Fernando Marquez to the 39. He was still on his feet. You should know that when you're tackled, you can't go any further. But it's a gain of 13 as they give him the 38. And Fernando Marquez
38-yard line.
now has 7 receptions tonight. Wheatley is thrown now. Let's see, he's approaching 100 yards. 96 yards for Wheatley, but that's his 19th pass. So it's been a battle for Briggs Wheatley tonight, but he needs some blocking too.
yep.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. Fort Morgan 17, Northridge nothing. 7 minutes, 56 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. In motion to the left is Ortega. A fake handoff to Ortega. Wheatley to his right to the 35. Wheatley with a first down along the right sideline. Runs out of bounds. And a solid run by Briggs Wheatley. He hasn't had much running room tonight, especially around the middle of the field, except for the touchdown. But Wheatley got to
23-yard line.
23, a gain of 15 for Wheatley. And normally what you see out of him is close to 100 yards rushing and usually a very prolific game passing. At the 23. Now the question is, Brian, is the defense going to pitch a shutout? And now we've got a flag. What happened there?
I don't know what that was. He's pointing over to the
Flag on the field prior to the snap.
Northridge side.
I wonder if this is illegal substitution, because I see that signal here by one of the officials. It's going to be a penalty against Northridge. I don't think it's unsportsmanlike conduct. It is.
Yeah, somebody said something over there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Northridge.
And I think that came from the bench.
Well, that's going to be half the distance.
Resulting in another Mustangs. First down.
So it goes from the 23 to the 12. They got to punch it in now, Brian.
12-yard line.
Yeah, they got to take advantage of this. They got to get looking sharper before next week. That's for darn
Well,
sure.
you've had a fumble recovery, an interception, a blocked punt, and they haven't really capitalized on any of that, but they can do it right now. 1st and 10 for the 12. Receiver split each side, play action, throw is caught by Marquez at the 5, touchdown. A gorgeous slant run by Marquez. Easy pickings for the senior. 12 yards away, the Mustangs lead 23-0. 2nd touchdown pass of the game for Briggs Wheatley, who is now 3 out of his last 4 for 32 yards. Welcome back to the Mustang offense.
Yeah, that looked a lot better, and that was a beautiful play. Slant play by Fajardo.
And the kick is blocked. Was it Marquez?
Marquez, I'm sorry, yep.
The kick is blocked. Yeah, I thought I had seen Marquez out there.
Well,
Well, that took a while to get that off. We've got 7:41 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's Fort Morgan 23, Northridge nothing. We're live from Legion Field on B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
It's that we're all in this together. And Better Electric would like to thank those on the front lines of the fight. Hospital staff and first responders, city and county personnel who, through unprecedented hardships and uncertainty, kept our communities going. It's the reason we live in small town America. When you want an electrician who shares that dedication to excellence, call Better Electric at 970-521-1030.
Briggs Wheatley has just thrown a 12-yard touchdown pass. And the Mustangs now lead 23-0, nearly midway through the 3rd quarter. It'll be Brandon Marquez off the left hash mark. Line drive headed towards the sideline. That's a heck of a kick. It bounces along the 6 and it goes out of bounds. But Brian, you know what? I mean, the way they have been covering kicks, which has been awful tonight, that's probably better than the alternative.
Yeah, that's a lot better than what has been happening. So we'll see what Northridge is going to come out with here now on their opportunity here in the second half.
That ball nearly rolled into the end zone, but had some side spin to it. So Northridge will have it. Well, it shouldn't be at the 30-yard line or 25. They should place that ball. Isn't it at the 40 or 35?
I thought it was at the 35.
I think it's at the 35. Should be at the 35-yard line. We haven't seen that situation in a while. Do the officials know the rule? Because that ball, one of the officials is standing at the 33-yard line. They're going to re-kick it. Do we have another unsportsmanlike
conduct
against Northridge?
What the heck?
Well, wow. Yeah. So that's why it's at the 20. What is going on with them? You got to wonder here. They're losing some composure along that sideline. 2 unsportsmanlike conducts.
Yep. They're having a tough time out on the field, and the coaches aren't helping any.
First and 10 at the 20. There's the give left side. A nice hole for Isaac Ness, and he spins across the 20, and then Fort Morgan closes that hole. I don't think he ever went down to the ground. I think they blew the whistle for a gain of close to 5. Second down and, well, they'll call it 4 at the 24-yard line. Isaac Ness, the leading ground gainer, has not done much tonight. 5 carries for 11 yards. In fact, they haven't run the ball much tonight. They've thrown it 13 times and run it only 8 times. Can you imagine just 21 offensive plays? That's not a lot for this team, and they're down 23-0. Under center's Cooper Rose. Second down and 6 for the 24-yard line. Backs in an eye. There is the give to the deep back up the middle. First down, driving across the 30 and carrying Fort Morgan Mustangs for the gain of about 7. And that is Isaac Ness, easily his best carry of the game. They'll give him the 32, a gain of 8. First and 10 for Northridge. But they've got to score points quickly just to get back into the game.
Yeah, they're down 23-0 with 6.5 left here in the third period. So they've got to get downfield. Maybe they're just trying to bring that secondary up a little bit and then try to beat them deeper after running it.
On first and 10 for the 32. Again, under center is Rose. Is going to roll out to his right. Plenty of protection. Still rolling. Throws on the run. The pass is going to be complete. A diving reception at the 46. Not much better can you throw that football than Cooper Rose did there. It's a gain of 14, and Jace Reed has reception number 4 for him. And that is as good a pass as we've seen at any time this season by any quarterback.
Yeah, he got some time. He rolled out to his right, and he had some nice blocking out there and got the pass off.
First and 10 for Northridge at the 46-yard line. All of a sudden, they picked up 2 first downs on back-to-back plays. We've got 6 minutes to go, third quarter. The Mustangs lead Northridge 23-0. Rose looking to throw. Pump fake. Heaves it deep up the right side. Incomplete. Fajardo is actually closer to the football than the intended receiver, Brendan Peterson. And you can't go deep against the Mustangs, Brian. They rarely have a breakdown there. And Fajardo played that perfectly.
Yeah, he was in better position than Peterson was. But I think that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to run and try to get that secondary to suck up a little bit and then try to go deep, and it just didn't work that time.
On second down and 10 from their own 46-yard line. 2 receivers split out to the left and 1 to the right. Running backs to the left and right of the quarterback Rose. This will be a give to Damon West up the middle to the 50, and he backs to the 45, and he almost has a first down. Oh, one official is almost going to give him the 44. That would be a terrible spot.
Yeah.
I don't even like that spot right there.
He barely made it to the 45.
Yes, that should be a gain of 9, not 9.5. But Fort Morgan allowed that play there by Damon West. Only his 4th carry now for 16 yards. It's third down and less than a yard to go for the Mustang 45-yard line, and this should be a simple give. Although they can afford to throw the ball here because they'd go for it on 4th down. West 4 yards behind center. Check that. That's Rose. The handoff to Ness. First down on that sweep right. Braden Fajardo made the tackle, and he got to the 43 for the gain of 2. They only needed 1. Third first down of the drive for Northridge, and their offense is starting to look like what they've done most of the season.
Yeah, they're finally getting their act together here in the third period, but they still got a ways to go, and time is running down. We're 4:50 left in the third period.
Yeah, I think they know they've lost the game, Brian. I think they're at a point they just want to run their offense to see what they can do. From the 43, back to throw is Rose. No pressure. Slant over the middle, and it is caught! What a catch! At the 10 by Reed to the 5 from behind. They tackle him, and it's a touchdown. Holy Mahunga's 43 yards, and that was a better catch than it was a throw. I don't know how he squeezed it in there, 43 yards, and Northridge is on the board in the third quarter. A tremendous play and a tremendous catch there by Jace Reed.
Yeah, it looked like, was that just over the head of Marquez? Looked like Marquez was right in line for it and just went over his outstretched hands and into the hands of Reed.
I mean, I did not see that coming whatsoever. Brian, I thought that was going to be overthrown or broken up. And somehow he was able to make the catch and then run it another 15 yards. And now West, the left-footed kicker, to attempt the extra point to make this a 16-point game. And that kick is up, and that kick is good. Inside the right upright. It's now a two-possession game. 4 minutes, 38 seconds to go from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. We're in the third quarter. Fort Morgan 23, Northridge 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Don't miss out on a special 14-week 9-pin no-tap league at Ice Lanes in Sterling. Starting September 9th through December 16th, practice starts at 6:50 p.m. each week. It's $12 per person, 4-person teams. Stop by 208 North 10th Avenue in Sterling to fill out a form for your team, or register yourself and they'll build a team around you. For more information, you can call Ice Lanes at 970-522-3331 or log on to icelanes.com.
43-yard touchdown pass from Cooper Rose to Jace Reed. Fort Morgan's being outscored in the quarter 7-6, but they lead 23-7. Brian, that was not a short drive. They picked up 3 first downs, followed by the touchdown.
Yeah, they started that at throwing 20 thanks to a personal foul call or unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench over there.
Yeah,
Because the kick had gone out of bounds. So they had to go 80 yards, and they did it in 7 plays.
and it didn't look tough for them either.
No.
I mean, they cruised down the field. Fort Morgan now
Let's all rise for the kickoff.
will be receiving this kickoff. Only the second time they received a kickoff in the game. The first time was to begin the second half. Man, Damon West, the kicker, stands at his own 26 and runs all the way to the 40. That's line drive. And ball still bouncing, picked up by Marquez at the 17, to his right to the 25. And he slips out of a tackle, spins, and then he is wrestled down at the 26. A return of 9 yards, and Fort Morgan will have to go 74 yards to get into the land of no hash marks, leading 23-7
Mustangs will begin first
here
and 10.
in the later moments of the third quarter. Briggs Wheatley has 2 touchdown passes tonight. He's also got a touchdown run, his 11th rushing touchdown of the year. They also had a drop pass from Frank Ortega that should have been a touchdown on a 4th down from the, I believe, the 14-yard line or the 18. On 1st and 10 for the 26, pistol formation. Ortega behind Wheatley. Ortega will get the football, run to his right, and he squeezes about 2, maybe 3 yards out of that one, just running into a pile of bodies. Most of those Northridge Grizzlies. 2nd down and 8. Brian, the running game's going to be a concern moving forward because it just can't be about Briggs Wheatley.
Yeah, there's Grizzlies are bringing a lot of guys up the middle. It looked like they ought to be able to get this swung outside, but they're still trying to run up through the tackles, through the guards.
Well, he's got 24 yards in his last 9 carries. 2nd down and 8. Wheatley option left. Now he wants to throw. Sets. Pressure coming. Runs to his right. Throws. Deflected and intercepted along the left sideline. This is going to go for a touchdown. I don't believe what I just saw there. I think Jace Reed was the one that picked it off the deflection. It's about a 20-yard interception return for a score. Let's make sure that's Reed out there. Either way, it's a Northridge touchdown as protection broke down with Wheatley rolling to his right. All of a sudden, this is a game. And the touchdown, I got to see, that could be Carbon Brink. Yeah, I believe that's Carbon Brink and not Reed. We'll call it a 20-yard interception return for a score. And it's 23-13. They're going to go for 2. Man, I cannot believe what's happening here at Legion Field. Under center is Cooper Rose. They can make this a one-score game. One in the backfield. Back to throw. Pressure. Pass over the middle. Tipped. And it's intercepted in the end zone by Ortega. Intercepted in the end zone, but Fort Morgan commits a rare turnover.
Yeah, it's
A
crazy.
rare turnover for the Mustangs. We have 3:47 to go. Third quarter. All of a sudden, it's Fort Morgan 23, Northridge 13. It's a 30-second break on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs have been outscored in this half now, 13-6. And the 23-0 lead is down to 23-13. And Damon West to kick it off, a 20-yard interception return by Carbon Brink. Deflected at the line of scrimmage. He's had 2 or 3 passes knocked down, but that wasn't knocked down. That was batted in the air.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we've got a football game here. West left-footed boot high and deep and fielded by Ortega at the 11. Needs something special here at the 20. Ortega stutter stepping, jitterbugging his way to the 25, and he's down at the 29, a return of 18 yards. The Northridge tackler was Christopher Perez, a sophomore. And Fort Morgan has to figure something out now because the passing game has been inconsistent. And for Briggs Wheatley, only the second interception he's thrown all season, and that one was a pick 6.
Yeah, they're just completely out of whack here. They got to get back to their basics here and get going.
3 receivers to the left, also known as trips to the left. 1 receiver to the right from their own 29-yard line. Wheatley, play action, slant, caught by Marquez at the 34. First down to the 40, breaks out of a tackle, and he's carrying a defender to the 46. It's a gain of 17, and a first down. Marquez is having a special night. That is 9 receptions for the senior Fernando Marquez for 99 yards. Man, without Marquez, I know Fajardo's got that touchdown, but man, he's done a lot of damage. 12 completions for Wheatley and 9 to 1 player.
Yeah, once Fernando found his hands there after the first game, he has been lights out.
That's all. That's what you do, Brian. Drop them all in the first game, and then you get them out of the way.
Yeah.
First and 10 at the 46, a naked backfield. 2 receivers split each side. Ortega's in motion to the right. There's a fake to Ortega. The run by Wheatley. A big hole up the middle across the 45, and he's got a first down in Northridge territory. He goes for the 46 to the Northridge 42. That means it's a gain of 12 for Briggs Wheatley, and the Mustangs pick up first downs on back-to-back plays. Briggs Wheatley now starting to pick up that running game.
In on the tackle, number 35.
70 yards for Briggs Wheatley.
Yeah, he looked better on that run. Some of the runs, they look a little tentative. Usually you see these guys, they hit the holes right real quick, and they've been kind of stutter stepping as they've been going up in there. And that time he just took off and got 12 yards.
2.5 minutes to go, third quarter. Fort Morgan leads Northridge 23-13 in Grizzly territory. First and 10 at the 42. 2 receivers split out to the right. Wheatley, quick drop, throw out to Marquez, caught underneath, tries to break out of a tackle, but he got maybe a yard. That's it on that little bubble screen. Out to his right. And no gain. No gain, but it is his 10th reception of the game.
No gain on the play.
And the 13th completion on pass number 23 thrown by Briggs Wheatley.
Yeah, they seem to like that play. I don't know why. It hasn't worked the last couple of times. So it's just so far out there to have to try to get anything going, and they've been covered with 2 defenders usually every time.
Well, you need a completion, then you need a block. You need the block. That's the play they scored on Conifer to give him a 40-something lead, but it didn't go that far. Wheatley to throw deep over the middle. Intercepted at the 20-yard line. Along the left sideline is Damon West. He's got Wheatley to beat, and Wheatley throws him out of bounds. That could be a late hit at the 47-yard line. Wheatley is clearly frustrated, and it's a pick by Damon West. 2 possessions in a row. Briggs Wheatley has been intercepted. And, man, right now, the Mustangs are on upset alert. They were up 23-0 in this game, and now Northridge is 53 yards away from making this a 1-score game. They're down by 10. And we still have, in this third quarter, 1:33 to go, and that pass was just underthrown. Frank Ortega was out there, but not enough air into the football. On 1st and 10 for the 47. Cooper Rose awaits the snap. High snap. He'll hand it off on the sweep to Damon West. Running to his right. Has got the sideline to the 50. And he runs over a Mustang up first down across the 50. And that Northridge coaching staff is all fired up right to the left of us. And it's a gain of 10 for Damon West. And this Northridge team looks like they're the state title contender, not Fort Morgan.
Yeah, they're looking pretty sharp right now.
Damon West had 7 yards on 3 carries. Now he's got his last 2 carries have gone for 19 at the 43 of the Mustangs. 1st and 10, waiting minute, the final minute, I should say, of quarter number 3. Back to throw is Rose, looking deep over the middle, batted up, intercepted by Fajardo off the deflection at the 28-yard line. Braden Fajardo has done it again. Oh, it was off the hand of Braden Asmus and then picked off by Fajardo. Well, that's the way to stop the momentum, because the last pass he threw went for 43 yards and a touchdown. Well, you know what, Brian? Run the ball here, get it to the fourth quarter, up by 10. You're at your own 28. You have 58.3 seconds to go. They'll have to run 2 plays before the end of the third, unless they throw an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at their own 28. Turnovers galore in this game. Fajardo's in motion to the right. There's the handoff to Ortega. He's got a nice hole across the right side. And he crosses the 30 and driven back as he gets to the 33. 5 hard, laborious, gut-wrenching yards for Frank Ortega, who's had to earn every one of those tonight. He's not up to 50 yards yet. Close to 50. He's carried the ball 11 times. On 2nd down and 5 to go for the 43, make it the 33-yard line. This will be the final play of quarter number 3 as we are down to 22 seconds to go. And they're taking their time getting up to the line of scrimmage. But Northridge is back in the game. But a big turnover thanks to Fajardo. They're coming on a run blitz, handoff to Ortega, and he's going to gain about 3 or 4 yards as he jitterbugs his way across the 35 to the 36-yard line, a gain of 3. We have played 3 quarters in Fort Morgan on this Thursday night. It's Fort Morgan 23, Northridge 13 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the fourth quarter. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel. The Mustangs lead the Northridge Grizzlies 23-13. A very odd game here for Fort Morgan. They look like the Fort Morgan of the whole season, up 14-0 after 1, but they've kind of been outplayed here. But they've got a 3rd down and 2 to go at their own 36-yard line. Wheatley with a snap. He fakes the handoff, and then he runs it up the middle and spins across the 40 to the 42. But that was a lot of Briggs Wheatley because he was trapped back there, but he picked up 6 yards because he's a phenomenal athlete, Brian.
Yeah, that was all on Briggs. He wasn't getting much protection up there, but that was a big 3rd down conversion for them.
Mustangs looking to move to 7-1 on the year. And they'd like to drop Northridge to 6-3, but even a Northridge loss here, they're going to be in the playoffs. They're 12th in the RPI. And, you know, Fort Morgan's got to find their consistency.
Yeah, they've got the rest of this quarter and next week to get things in order to continue on into the playoffs once they start.
Well, we might say there was a quality loss last week, and it might not be a quality win tonight. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Wheatley with Ortega to his right. Gets the snap, runs to his right, and he nearly fell. His knee was down. He got to the 47, but the knee was down at the 43, so a gain of 1. Brian, there's something weird in the air tonight. I'm not talking about the cold weather. You see 2 interceptions thrown. You see Wheatley slip to the turf.
It's like a 1 yard.
One of those, it's got to be Halloween this Sunday, is it not?
It is.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, I think it started tonight for the Mustangs. 2nd down and 9 at the 43. They disguised themselves for a while in that second quarter when we couldn't recognize that football team, and now 2 turnovers in that 3rd quarter, but hopefully they're back on track at their own 43. 2nd and 9, up by 10. Play action for Wheatley. Looks to throw deep over the middle. Marquez is out there. Oh, it's just beyond his outstretched right hand at the 25, covered by Damon West. Incomplete. 3rd down and 9 to go for Fort Morgan. And Briggs Wheatley's been outstanding all season, just a little bit off the mark there.
Yeah. It's last couple of games, it's usually been the first half when he's been off, and seems to reel it in a little bit in the second half. But tonight it's just kind of been off all game.
10:34 to go in the game. Fort Morgan 23, Northridge 13. Trips to the left. 3rd and 9 for their 43. They're coming on a blitz. Wheatley's got to roll to his left. All types of pressure. Still rolling. He'll run with the football to the 45. A first down. He slams into a defender crossing the 50 to the 47. He knew that once he got to the outside, he was going to pick up at least 5 or 6 yards. And in fact, Brian, he got 10.
Yeah. He saw the sticks out there, and he knew where he had to get to, and he made sure he got it.
That's a big first down for Fort Morgan. They keep the drive going at the 47-yard line. And the big thing is that Northridge missed that 2-point conversion.
Yep.
You'd be a little bit nervous here if this was 23-15 instead of 23-13. But you've got a 10-point lead, possession of the ball. Marquez will check out of the game. Elvin Yanez is in. 2 receivers are split out to the right. 1 wide receiver to the left. 1st and 10 for Fort Morgan at the 47. Coming on a blitz. Wheatley's going to option right. Doesn't have much running room. He's going to be tackled from behind, and he goes down at the 46-yard line. They're trying to strip him. But, man, Northridge is taking chances on defense. Isaac Ness makes the initial hit along with Christopher Perez. It's a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. And, Brian, that's a perfect play right there, that if the passing game was going on a consistent basis, you could have somebody wide open because they're sending so many towards Wheatley.
Yeah, they're bringing a lot of people, that's for sure. That's what's stopped the Mustangs here. They're bringing 6 guys usually every time.
High Plains Bank and Wiggins, another outstanding sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. High Plains Bank and Wiggins and B&B Appliance and Repair, from refrigerators to vacuums and everything in between. B&B Appliance and Repair. 2nd down and 9, 46-yard line. They're coming towards Wheatley. Wheatley sees it. He'll take off. He'll run to his right to the 40. A stiff arm to the 36-yard line. And the ball was stripped away. Taken away by Damon West up the left sideline. He's going to go the distance and score. 66 yards away, and Wheatley is down on the turf at the 35-yard line. Touchdown Northridge with 8:43 to go in the game, and Wheatley is getting up slowly, and he's walking off the field. He took a massive shot after gaining 8 yards in a play, and it was ripped out of his arms by Damon West. 66-yard fumble return, and the ball was never on the ground. He just took it away, and it's 23-19. And here comes the extra point. I am beyond shocked. 2 defensive touchdowns here for Northridge. And Damon West, who just scored the touchdown, can make this a 3-point game. Off the hold of Eli Wolf. The snap is there. The kick is up. The kick is good. 8:43 to go in the game. Wow. Fort Morgan 23, Northridge 20 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brian, some games are comebacks. This is not a comeback in my opinion.
No.
This is a collapse by Fort Morgan. 2 defensive touchdowns in the second half. A 20-yard interception returned by Carbon Brink. And then moments ago, as Wheatley was going down to the turf, the ball was taken away from him by Damon West, and he raced 66 yards up the left sideline for a touchdown. And with 8:43 to go, this is anybody's game. Northridge was down 23-0. Now it's 23-20. And West with a left-footed kick, a low line drive. It'll bounce 3 times. Marquez nearly fell at the 14-yard line. He's at the 20 along the right sideline off a juke to the 25. And Northridge and Fort Morgan each have 3 timeouts remaining. This is where you need a strong running game. And let me tell you, if Fort Morgan blows this game, they might not host a first-round playoff game.
It's possible. Yeah, they got to keep this going. This is crazy.
1st and 10 at the 25. Wow. This is insane. Fort Morgan with 2 huge turnovers, a pick 6 and a run 6 at the 25. Wheatley back to throw. Out to his left. It's caught underneath by Fajardo to the 30-yard line. And then he's down right there, a gain of 5.
Fajardo on the reception. Gain is to the 30-yard
Fajardo with his 3rd reception.
2nd down.
Fort Morgan lost to Roosevelt 14-7, nearly won that game. Roosevelt lost to Northridge or beat Northridge 62-19. So you'd figure with a 14-0 lead, then up to 23-0, this is going to be a runaway for the Mustangs. But Northridge has come to play, and they are ripping the ball away. They're taking chances on defense, and it's all paid off. Second down, Briggs Wheatley with 3 turnovers tonight. At their own 30-yard line. Give Frank Ortega up the middle. First down across the 35 to the 37. This is what you got to do. You got to run down that clock and get into the end zone. It's a gain of 7 for Ortega, and that's his second biggest carry of the night of the 13 carries he's had. The clock is now reading 7 minutes and 42 seconds. Plenty of time left in this football game. It's been a game of runs. Fort Morgan scored the first 23 points. Northridge has tallied the last 20. As we are at 23-20, Wheatley off the snap. Will keep the football right up the middle. Wheatley to the 50-yard line off the fake handoff to Ortega. He's got 8 yards of the play.
Stopped by number 55, Parker Steckel.
Let's see what Wheatley's up to.
Second down.
Wheatley has got 110 yards on 18 carries. And he needs even more than that because of the turnovers Fort Morgan's committed. Wheatley had 1 interception thrown the entire season and 2 alone tonight. First and 10, check it. Second and 2 from the 45-yard line. Fort Morgan in their own side of the field. Play action. Wheatley, the throw complete underneath to Chase Redding along the right sideline with a stiff arm. He's out of bounds. Damon West was on the coverage, but across the 40. And let's see where they give him. 37. It's a gain of 15 yards. I think I saw it as a 50. Yep. 15 yards and a first down. Redding with his first reception. And he was wide open. But that's what they have to do, Brian. The run now is starting to work a little bit. That's going to open up the pass more, but the run was not working and the pass was not working. First and 10 for the 37 in Northridge territory. Fajardo in motion to the right. He's got the handoff, stutter steps. He's thrown for a loss by Parker Steckel. A big-time loss to the 40-yard line. And nobody's blocked that guy.
No.
He's been in on so many tackles. Second down and 13. Fajardo has 2 carries tonight. One went for plus 34. That went for minus 3. And we still have a ton of time left. 6 minutes and 10 seconds to go, and the clock is running. Big play coming up for Fort Morgan at the 40-yard line of Northridge. Second down and 13 to go at the 40. Northridge going for the big upset after trailing on the road 23-0. Wheatley with Ortega to his left off the play action. Look at the throw. And he's hit. And the ball is loose. And Wheatley's going to fall on it. He never had the ball leave his hand. They're going to call that a fumble. He was hit on the throw. And they're going to call that not an incomplete pass. And Fort Morgan coaches thought it was an incomplete pass. It's back at the 44. Which means this would amount to a 16-yard loss. And is Northridge going to call a timeout?
Yep.
They do. Man, I can't believe what's happening here. Now, we are looking at third down and 29 to go for Fort Morgan. And the big playability that Fort Morgan has had all season is not evident tonight.
No. This is the time when they have shined this year, where they have large deficits to overcome. But it's just ugly football right now for Fort Morgan.
The loss again was 16 yards in the play. How does Fort Morgan get out of this? Now, keep in mind, Northridge has just 1 offensive touchdown. But they've moved the ball quite a bit, and they're going to have a chance to pull off an incredible comeback or collapse by Fort Morgan if the Mustangs are forced to punt it. And I don't think Fort Morgan's punted tonight.
No.
Because of the turnovers and the touchdowns. Boy, you got to set up something, either a screen or just to isolate Marquez. Marquez had a great night. Get him out there, one-on-one coverage, see what you can do. Third down, 29 yards to go for Fort Morgan. They've got to get to the 27. They're at their own 44, naked backfield, trips to the left. Wheatley awaits the snap. Are they going to come on a blitz? Now looking over towards the sideline for play instructions. Those linebackers, including Steckel, especially Steckel, have played one heck of a game tonight. Long count here on third down. Now they're resetting. Wheatley back to throw. Heavy pressure's coming. Deep over the middle. The pass is intercepted by West at the 37. Third interception thrown by Wheatley. Still on his feet to the 50. Along the right sideline across the 40 to the 39-yard line. And Northridge has a chance to tie the game or take the lead. And this is unbelievable. A return of 24 yards for Damon West,
First and 10 for the Grizzlies.
who has a 66-yard touchdown off a fumble. And they've got the ball with just over 5.5 minutes to go in the game at the 39-yard line. This could change the entire season for Fort Morgan.
Yep.
The entire season, 1st and 10. The backs are in an eye. Under center is Cooper Rose. There's the deep handoff. Running left back towards the middle is Ness. He's got a yard, maybe two. To the 37-yard line.
Number 55, Corey Schlegel.
Corey Schlegel made the hit. 2nd down and 8. Brian, you getting nervous?
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm there.
It's crazy. Yeah,
Well, the defense has still played well.
Yep, they've got to do it again.
2nd down and 8 to go from the 37. Backs in an eye. Under center is Rose. Rose will turn around. It'll hand it off to Ness across the right side. 1st down, still on his feet, and he's to the 25-yard line. A gain of 12 before the hit is made. And they are closing in on the red zone. And Cooper Ness with his biggest carry of the game. It's at the 25. And we have 4 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the game, and the clock is running. And Northridge is 25 yards away from taking an improbable lead. On the right hash mark, 1st and 10 for the 25. The deep setback is Isaac Ness. Rose with the count. Rose will hand it off to Ness right up the middle. He's got a hole across the 20-yard line, maybe to the 19. The Mustangs look like they're getting tired on defense. The hit was made by Timothy Paxton and Colin Duckworth. The gain is 5, and that running game is starting to pick up here for Northridge.
Yeah, going that I formation, that fullback is making a hole there.
Yeah, and that fullback, the 47, I don't have him on the roster. 2nd down and 5, handoff Ness right side. That time he's hit at the line of scrimmage. And we got a late flag. Hopefully that's a hold against Northridge. And I think it's going to be. The back judge threw that one. No, it wasn't the back judge. It was the lead official. Yep, that's a hold against Northridge.
Holding against the Grizzlies.
Well, it would have been 3rd and 5, Brian, but I'll take 2nd and 15.
Yep.
And in fact, it was behind the line of scrimmage. Oh, wow. Now it is 2nd and 19. It's going to be placed at the Fort Morgan 34-yard line. They've got to get to the 15, and the clock is rolling. Fort Morgan cannot give up a big play here. They've got 2 plays to not allow 19 yards, and maybe they can run out the clock. 2nd and 19 for the 34-yard line. Quick drop for Rose, looking. He's got pressure coming from behind. Here comes a Mustang along the sideline. He throws, and that pass is incomplete. Intended for Jace Reed at the 24-yard line. 3rd down and 19. I said 2 plays. Now it's down to 2 plays.
Pass ball is incomplete.
Yeah, no pressure there on him that time. Looked like they were holding that defensive end, but nothing called on this official on this side. But
well,
Mustangs got to.
Here's one thing you don't want to do. You don't want to throw in the direction of Braden Fajardo. He's got 2 interceptions tonight. 3rd down, but Fort Morgan's got to come with pressure. 3rd down and 19 to go, just shy of the Mustang 34. We have got 3 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the game from Legion Field on this Thursday night. Fort Morgan leads Northridge 23-20. 2 receivers split out to the right with 1 setback. Isaac Ness 7 yards behind the quarterback. Rose with a hard count. Rose on the reverse to Damon West. West wants to throw the ball, but he's going to run with the football, and he's tackled maybe after a gain of 1. Braden Fajardo with great containment, and David Keller. And back to the line of scrimmage, Brian. He didn't get anything. And let's see if Northridge is going to call a timeout on 4th and 19. And they will. That's a huge timeout for the Grizzlies. And I believe that's the second they've taken in the second half.
Yeah, because they just took one a minute ago before this drive started.
Oh,
that was a nice job by the secondary there on the defense. They couldn't find anybody downfield to get that pass to.
Well, let's look at Rose's completions. 13, 1, 12, 12, 1, 10, 14, and 43 for the touchdown. So they've only been able to pick up at least 19 yards on one pass play.
Yep.
You've got 4th down and 19 for the Mustang 34. 3 minutes and 23 seconds to go. If they don't score here and Fort Morgan doesn't do anything with the ball, they could still eat up about a minute and 30 seconds and put Northridge in a very tough spot offensively when they get the ball back. But first things first, you've got to make the stop right now. Right now. Home Field Sports Exchange, another outstanding sponsor of Morgan County Athletics. Home Field Sports Exchange. 4th down and 19 for the Mustangs at the 34-yard line of, 4th and 19 for Northridge at the 34-yard line of Fort Morgan. Naked backfield, 4 yards behind center. Rose is going to roll out to his left. Still rolling, sets up deep along the sideline. Broken up and knocked down by Marquez. And Marquez could have caught that, but there would be no use to catching it because they'd be backed up. He just knocked it down with his right hand.
Yep.
And Mustang football. And there was really no chance of that being complete. Brian, I don't even know who that was intended for.
No, I don't know who was back there. It was desperation time for Northridge, and it just wasn't there. But nice job just to knock the ball down. Mustangs with a lot better field position.
Ryan, you know what's going to happen now? They're going to try to rip the football out. That's what they did to Briggs Wheatley. Yep. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 34. They just want to survive here and get away with a victory. And come away with a victory, I should say. Not get away with one, but they might get away with one with the way Northridge has come back in the second half, thanks in part to 2 defensive touchdowns. From the 34-yard line, the Mustangs are on their own side of the field. Wheatley will keep the football, run to his right, cuts to the inside of the 40, dives to the 43. That's a great play by Wheatley.
Wheatley on the carry.
The knee was down at the 42, but it's a gain of 8. And again, they can only stop the clock once. 118 yards for Wheatley on 19 carries. We'll have a post-game show coming up momentarily with a recap. Hopefully a Mustang victory. 2nd down and 2 from their own 42-yard line. 1 timeout remaining for Northridge. 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining in the game. And the clock is rolling. Can the Fort Morgan Mustangs win tonight despite a myriad of offensive mistakes? Wheatley 5 yards behind center. Ortega to his right on 2nd down and 2 from the 42. Will this be a give to Ortega? And it will. Ortega stutter steps and is down short of the 1st down to the 43. Man, is that Parker Steckel again? Wow.
Yep.
I mean, this guy.
3rd down and 1.
Dalton Campbell also in on the hit. They have to take a chance here, Brian. If not, Fort Morgan's going to run out the clock.
Yeah, they've only got 1 timeout left. So.
Well, they got one. Not only that, but we're down to under 2 minutes to go in the game. 5 yards behind center is the quarterback, Wheatley. 3rd and 1 from their own 43. I bet Wheatley takes it himself. That would be the logical play right now. And this could pretty much clinch the game if they pick up the 1st down. At the 43, Wheatley awaits the snap. Need a good snap here. He gets a good snap, runs to his left to the middle. 1st down for Wheatley. Dives to the 50-yard line, a gain of 7. And now you've got to go into victory formation. Wheatley with 125 yards in the game.
Yeah.
1st down.
You know, the running game has not been terrible. Now, when you look at it statistically, they're over 200 yards, believe it or not. The Mustangs in this game have run for 218 yards. So it's a lot better than I thought. Total offense is going to be closer to 380. Are they going to actually run a play here? 1st and 10 at midfield. 1:03 to go. Just go into victory formation. Hand it off to Ortega. Ortega across the 45. They might be looking for style points here, Brian. He gets to the 42-yard line, but you're not going to pick up style points. They're not going to score here.
No, I think they wanted to get 1 more 1st down just because they have 1 timeout left on Northridge's side, but
it doesn't matter.
No,
the time's going to run out on them. It doesn't matter. Now that's 67 yards for Ortega. And you got to go into victory formation.
Yep.
32 seconds to go. I'm not sure what they're doing here. Are we in the 4th quarter? I mean, you get a bad snap or something crazy here. Well, let's see what happens on 2nd down and 2 from the 42. Unless they're unaware that Northridge only has one timeout. Wheatley
Yep.
will fall back at the 46, and hopefully that was a designed drop of the knee.
Yeah, that'll be it.
And the clock is going to run all the way down. Yeah, well, that was their version of victory formation as the Fort Morgan Mustangs survive a massive rally tonight.
Mustangs 23, Grizzlies
Fort Morgan Mustangs defeat the Northridge Grizzlies tonight. We'll take a 1-minute break. Fort Morgan 23, Northridge 20 on B106 in the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel, the Mustang postgame show brought to you by Morgan Community College. Here to make your dreams become a reality. That is Morgan Community College, as the Fort Morgan Mustangs were able to win tonight by a score of 23-20 over the Northridge Grizzlies in a very, very puzzling game for Fort Morgan, especially when you look at disparity here. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel. Tonight, Brian, for Fort Morgan, 372 yards of total offense, 172 for Northridge, because Northridge had 66 yards on an interception return, another on a fumble return, 20 on an interception return, and this is a game unlike any other we've seen in the last several years.
Yeah, this is. Other than the first quarter, this was just ugly football. It just, and I don't know. You would have thought they would have had the jitters or the letdown in the first quarter, and then would have picked it up after that, after last week's game. But they played a great first quarter, and then it just kind of just almost slipped away from them here. But good thing they got it out of their way now. They've got an extra day this week before they play a week from tomorrow against a good Holy Family team that'll end that will bring the season to an end, and hopefully go on into the playoffs on a two-game winning streak. But they've got some work they've got to get done in practice this week before they see Holy Family.
Mustangs took a 7-0 lead on a 13-yard touchdown run by Briggs Wheatley. Then they made it 14-0 on a 4th and goal from the 3, a 3-yard touchdown pass. And then when the Mustangs started showing signs of inefficiency was in that second quarter, especially when David Keller blocked a punt, picked it up, got to the 14-yard line. The next 3 plays produced a -4 yards. They had to settle for a Brandon Marquez 35-yard field goal. But then they picked it up back in the third quarter when Fort Morgan got Wheatley's second touchdown pass of the game, a 12-yarder to Marquez. They missed the extra point. It was 23-0. And you figure, well, maybe Northridge will get on the board. They drove 80 yards. And on that 43-yard pass, most of that was a run by Jace Reed after the catch. That made it 23-7. All of a sudden, a pick six thrown by Wheatley as the ball was batted in the air. That wasn't his fault, Brian.
No.
It was picked up by Carbon Brink, but he had all types of pressure, nothing he could do there. And then Wheatley ran for a first down, and as he was falling to the ground, it was ripped out of his right arm by Damon West, and he raced up the left sideline 66 yards for a score. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I was at about a 7 or 8 in terms of worried about Fort Morgan winning this game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought you were going to say the way they played, I was going to say about a 3, but they about let this get away from them. And they've got a lot of things they got to take care of before they hit the field next Friday.
Let's run through the numbers here. Isaac Ness, 10 carries for 40 yards. Damon West had 6 for 26, 66 yards on the ground. And when you look at Jace Reed, he was the leading receiver with a touchdown catch. He had 5 receptions in the game for 83 yards. And Cooper Rose in the game, let's see, threw 19 passes and completed 8 for 106 yards. Again, 172 yards of total offense for Northridge. The Mustangs with 372. Ortega had 15 carries for 67 yards. Briggs Wheatley, 20 carries in the game for 125. And through the air, Wheatley, 14 of 28, 145 yards and 3 interceptions.
That's crazy.
Brian, it's insane.
We haven't seen that. We haven't seen this.
Fort Morgan had 4 turnovers tonight.
Yeah, but the defense came up with enough plays to get the victory for the Mustangs. they got the ball back once it was taken away there, and then the Mustangs took it right back away from Northridge, and we'll get Halloween out of the way and start over again in November.
Against Holy Family, yeah, a week from tomorrow. Weren't we hoping that the defense caught up to the offense, but not exactly like this?
No, the defense has picked it up, but the offense has lost it, or not completely, but they have
regressed a little bit.
They have gone backwards a little bit, but Northridge, I think, was just a better team than what they thought was coming in here. They didn't think that 6-2 record was legit, and they just about found out it was. So
Marquez had 10 receptions for 99 yards to lead all receivers in the game, and he did have that 12-yard touchdown catch, and that ended up being the winning TD in this game because they were up 23-0, and Fort Morgan survived a nearly complete collapse. But they moved to 7-1. Northridge now at 6-3, and the Mustangs, as Brian mentioned, play their regular season finale at home. That's a week from tomorrow, and that will be against the Holy Family Tigers, and that'll be another good game.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's for sure. They're ranked 4th or 5th, I think, in the state, and it's not easy for them. That's for darn sure. But if Fort Morgan can play like we've seen them play in the past, it should be a good game, and they should be able to come away with a victory. But they've got to work on some things, securing that football for one thing, and giving Wheatley a little bit of time to pass. He was under a lot of pressure tonight, and Holy Family will see the film on this game, and they're going to figure out what they can do to put some pressure on Wheatley. And Fort Morgan's going to have to change some things up on that offensive line to give him some time to operate.
Brian, it might be an indication that Fort Morgan must have been banged up. They must have been banged up on that offensive line, and maybe fatigued from that game against Roosevelt, because I thought they protected Wheatley better against Roosevelt, and he took some shots there than they did against Northridge. But again, Fort Morgan comes away with a victory. Keep in mind the Colorado Prep Scoreboard Show will be airing tomorrow night, Friday night at 9:30, with Kevin Schaefer, 9:30 to 11 on Morgan County's B106. The Mustangs survive 4 turnovers tonight, and they defeat the Northridge Grizzlies. For Brian Nickel, I'm John Beltran. The final score in Fort Morgan on this Thursday night: Fort Morgan 23, Northridge 20 on Morgan County's B106, B106.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.